Hey guys, today we have a 2020 Mercedes C300 and we're going to pull the front and rear door panels. Now the reason I'm pulling these is I need to get this rubber seal out of here because I'm tinting the windows today. And so in order to get this seal out, you do have to pull the panel off. Unfortunately on this one we can't just pull back and pull the channel out. The panel has to come out. And you got to be really careful on these Mercedes, especially on the front doors. On the front door, it has a special little clip here where the door actually hangs on there. So you don't want to pull right here, okay? You can pull all the way around out of here. Once you get to this area, we're going to have to pull the panel up in order to get it off that clip. Once we get that off that clip, then we got to get the clip off of the actual metal frame, which basically is just pushing down on a little tab and then pulling it out. And then we hook it back onto the door panel. So when we put the door panel back on, we just snap it back into place. A couple things, this grill up front has to come off, and you want to be careful when you're taking this grill off. Now, when you're taking it off, this is if you're looking at it, you want to grab it from here and kind of release it a little bit like this. It has two clips on the top right here, which would be here and here. So we're going to pull it kind of like this, and then we're going to kind of release it off these clips. And if you want, you can actually leave it on the door like that until you get the panel off. Then you can just slide it off and get it out of the way. I think that's where you got to be the most careful. Now, if you're just pulling the panel off, then that's pretty much, you know, once you get in here, you're going to take the cable off the door, and then there's like, I think it's like one harness here, and then there's a couple harnesses on the actual door itself that you can unplug to get the panel off of there. If you're going to take the channel out, once you get the panel off, this plastic piece, you want to like move it a little bit this way, just barely kind of get it so you can get a little bit of clearance to get the rubber seal out and get it out. And this door in the front has two 30 Torx 30s, one right here in the front, and then there's one down here kind of hidden. Back door is the same way. But on the back door, it's a little bit different. It has that piece in the middle. You're going to have to pull that piece off a little bit in order to get that rubber seal out. But if you're just taking the door panel, you don't have to worry about that. Basically, it's two Torx in the back, and then you're just going to pull the door panel. It doesn't have a clip like this on the back, so you don't have to worry about that back there. But on the front, you want to be very, very careful because you don't want to break that clip, or else this door panel's not going to want to stay back on there. So you want to be really, really careful. I've taken this door panel off. I've tinted the windows already. So basically, you would take off one Torx 30 down right in here. I'm going to bring you in with my light so that I can show you where it's at, and we'll go from there. So bringing you down here on the door, the first Torx T30 is going to be right here, which is basically on the armrest by the switches right behind there. So there's going to be one T30 in there, and as we go down, we get down to the bottom over here, real hidden down in there. Let's see if I can get you right in there. There's another hidden Torx T30 that you're going to have to remove. So once you get those two off, the next step would be some type of a sort of plastic card and kind of try to jam it in between the panel and the metal. And then you take either your door panel tool, if you got this kind of door panel tool, or a plastic door panel tool, something like that. I used one of these where you push it in there, and then when you press it, it pushes the panel. So it unsnaps the panel. Now this panel is already taken off, like I said, so what we'd want to do is go ahead and pull all the way up to about right here where the latch is, and then stop right here. And then when we get over here, remove the speaker cover, you'll pull in here like this, and then it'll be attached by these two clips here. And then what you want to do is you want to kind of grab it and kind of pull it that way to get those two clips off. Once you get those two clips off, then basically it'll sit something like that. If you've already pulled the panel like I did here, then you can go ahead and just push that way and it'll come off of the bottom there. As you can see, it has two clips, or not clips, it has two little guides on the bottom that actually hook onto the panel right there. Okay. And I put the other side on already, and what I did is I actually put it on here like that, and when I went to snap in the panel, then I just kind of hooked these two clips on there, and then I wrapped it around, and I just made sure that it went right in here in this little groove right here. Okay. So we're at this point right now where I'm gonna pull the panel, but I'm gonna put you right back up on the tripod so I can show you what I'm gonna do. Okay, so we're at the point where we got this part off. We got our two T30s off. We've already I'll go ahead and pull this panel like as if I'm doing it right now. Now, what's gonna happen is once we get it to here, now I already took the clip off, but what you wanna do is you're gonna pull up really hard, okay? You gotta pull real hard. And then it's gonna come off of the actual clip that's here, okay? And I'm gonna bring you in to show you real quick what I'm talking about. So this is the clip right here, and I already actually remounted it back on here, and it's a little bit hard to get it off, but basically when we pull up on the panel, this clip will just be sitting right here, okay? And what we want to do to get the clip off of the metal frame here, we want to push down on this little part right here and then pull on the clip when it's sitting in here. So we'll push down on the top with one hand and then, or a little flat screwdriver, and then just pull the clip out. And then you'll go ahead and then slide it that way to get it right back on the door. Okay? Real important. You need to do that way. Okay? Now, if you're going to continue to pull the panel off, it's pretty simple on here. So show you how this normally sits here. So this is the handle right here. So you'll pull that way. So we'll pull out, get the cable out of there, and then we'll go ahead and just pull upwards. And it's a little bit kind of tough to do with one hand, but you want to pull this up and it comes out of the little guide, and then it just goes back in once you get it in there. So like if say we're going to put this back in, you put that back in that little hole there and then push down like that, you know, get it to snap into place, and then route the cable back through that little area right here, see that, and then let the green part of that cable go back inside, and then that's back in there. Okay, now over here, to remove the actual panel, you'll have to unplug the speaker. Okay, so if you look right here, there's a tiny little spot right there. See that little tab right there? You got to push down on that little tab right there. Wow, it's really tiny. Maybe with a little flat screwdriver I was able to get it off with my nail. And then, you know, obviously it'll plug right back in there. And then over here you'll have a big harness right here that has two harnesses coming off of it, and those go straight to this module right here. And then those you just push that little tab and pull, push that little tab and pull. Now I would make sure that your key is off when you do this. I don't know if these things have like auto up and down, and if you unplug them, maybe that will stop working. So you want to make sure to have the key off when you do that, okay? And then if that's all you're going to do, then that's it. Pretty much the panel's off. You're done, okay? Now, if you're going to pull the channel out of here, that rubber piece, then what you need to do is you need to pull this plastic piece a little bit towards you, just a little bit like that. I mean, it's not much. It sits in this little, little groove here. So you just pull it away like that, and then you just grab the rubber piece, kind of pull it up, and then pull it out. And then put it back in its reverse order. Put that side down, make sure this is kind of a little bit out of the way so you can put it there, and then you just wrap that back around. Okay, so that's the front door panel, okay? On the rear door panel, it's similar. You're gonna have two 30 Torx. One's up here in the front, and then the other one is way in there. See if I can get a, there it is. Just kind of get the light in there. So in there will be another Torx T30 that you'll remove. Okay, and both of those are on the armrest. Same thing, kind of stick something in between the panel unless you can grab it, and then get your door panel tool. And then on this one, you can actually just pull all the way around and then pull the panel towards you and get it off. And then you'll just, you know, obviously get it over the door lock here. And then you can get the door, you can get the panel off of there. Now on here, same thing with the cable. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna pull it that way, get it off of there, and then take it off of the little piece right here. Same thing like we did on the front, okay? And then the same thing with the speaker. Now this one has just a different color tab, but same thing. We're just gonna push down on that little tab, and then we're gonna go ahead and unplug it. I'm plugging it right now, okay? And then it has a harness here that goes to the module. Same thing. You'd unplug those two, and then now you have your panel off of there. Again, make sure you have the key off. You want to make sure that if these have auto up and down features, that doesn't get messed up because you have the key on. Now, to get the rubber channel off of here, this piece here, off of here, it actually sits underneath this post plastic piece. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to get like a plastic tool of some kind, or your door panel tool, and get under here and kind of just work that just like that, and just get it out about that far. You don't have to take it off because this is all one piece. Okay, and then same thing here in the front. We're going to go ahead and just kind of pull that a little bit away from there. So we'll pull this channel up and then try to get it to go like that, okay? And then just try to work your way to clear it past this piece here. So you'll get it up, because this is off of here, obviously. So this'll pop up like that. Once you got it up like that, then just kind of work it and then get it out. Slide it out. And then reverse order to put it back in, and then snap this back into place. So that's pretty much does it, guys. Sorry the video's a little bit shaky. I'm a little bit pressed for time right now, but I wanted to get something out on this car because I don't get very many of these Mercedes in here, especially the newer ones. So I'm going to show you how to put the panels back on. Might as well, since we're already here. So I'm going to go ahead and put this channel back in here. If you hadn't taken this off, you could skip this step. So just get this in here. And again, you want to pull a little bit away from there so that this thing will go back into place. Make sure it's back down. And then make sure that this goes back into the little slot that's there. And then this will, you kind of move it back and forth so that you can wrap it around there. And then make sure that your cable's back on there. All your plugs are back on. And then we'll go over the door lock here. And then you want to line up the door lock. You want to line up the door panel. And then put it all back into place. Check, make sure that that works. Now, I don't have the key on, so go ahead and turn the key on real quick. Just to make sure our window works. We're good there. And then lastly, we're going to put the two Torx T30s on the bottom there. Now, I did the other side without a magnet, but if you need a magnet, you might need one for over here in the corner because it's kind of hard in there and it might fall on you unless you got a magnetic tip. Now I do have one of these little magnetizers. You kind of run this back and forth in here, and it's supposed to help it magnetize the tip a little bit. It doesn't always work with all the different tips, but We'll see if it'll help me out here. As long as it's on there for a little bit, I can guide it in and then get the drill in there. And you don't want to torque these down too hard. This is a strong impact, so I just once it kind of reaches, I just kind of stop. So you might need a light to be able to see in here. So the first one will be here in the front. Once I hear it make a noise like that, I stop. And then the back one's over here. This one's this is the hardest one to get to. Right there. Able to get it in there, no problem. And that pretty much does it for the back door. Now, let me move you up here to the front door. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing in the front. We're going to go ahead and put this rubber piece back in here. So we're going to pull this plastic a little bit away. Get our rubber piece back in there. Make sure the ends are nice and flush in there. Get that piece and put it back in there. And just make sure you look here, because you can look on the side and make sure, like you'll see the top is kind of like in a groove. You want to make sure the rest of that's in a groove as well. That's all sitting in there correctly. And then just go ahead and check your cable. And then run your door lock through the hole there. Now what I like to do on this one, what I did on the other side, I just kind of put this piece here on here. Okay, so it kind of sits on there. And then I'm going to get it close to it. Snap that into place there. And then we're going to go ahead. So when you go to put the speaker on, make sure that you put these two clips in first. I want to make sure to kind of hook it in first, get it on there, and then lastly we'll go ahead and make sure that the front lines up and that it's sitting in the groove right here. There we go. It's lined up in the front. We're good there. It's all in there. And then lastly, you'll just put the two Torx T30s on the bottom. Like I said, you will need a light because it's kind of hard to see in here. There's one. The other one's way buried in here. There's the other one. Window up. Good. Sure that works. We're good to go. So that pretty much does it for this video. If you have any questions, hit me up. Thanks for watching.